Hey there, this is Sherry Hayes with MomDelights.com, and today I'm going to give you some very important information. If it's not for you, it's for someone you know who wants to homeschool and they don't have a lot of money, because you can have an excellent homeschooling education for cheap or free. Yes, it's really true. Stay tuned and I'll show you the philosophy that will get you there. So I want to talk to you about a lot of the information that is available today about homeschooling, especially on YouTube. When I'm seeing a lot of it, I enjoy it, okay? I'm really glad that there are ladies that buy the whole full-blown curriculum and order their books and show us that stuff. I mean, it's exciting and it's fun and I love it. But a lot of us are not in that position, especially given the types of situations we've been through this last year. And a lot of us are new to homeschooling. We've never done it before. And we're not so sure that we can't do it without spending a lot of money, and we don't feel confident. So I just want to tell you that there is a constant and a thread that goes through every successful homeschool curriculum or program. And I'm going to point these things out to you to give you confidence, help you to form a strategy that will enable you to use a lot of the things you already have, or a lot of things that are free or so cheap you won't believe it, and have an excellent education that goes beyond anything any public school could offer. Now, I know it seems impossible, but you don't even have to buy. You don't have to spend even, well, I mean, if you want to spend a little bit of money, let's say that you can scrape by a little bit of money, you have some tax return money or something like that. The things you want to invest in are tools and supplies more than anything else. And then these other things I will show you how to procure. And then what I'm going to do like a series, and I'm going to show you how you can take the things that you glean. I'm going to give you lists, okay? And I'm going to put blog posts together, and I'm going to give you lists that you can take, and you can get these things together. And then I'm going to show you how to put these things into a program that you create yourself. And I'm doing all the work for you. Hopefully I'm making it simple for you so that you can sit down, and all you have to do then is just make some choices and plug them into a program you're going to create yourself for your own kids. Now, you know, as far as your schedule and everything else in your life, you have to pray, you have to believe that God is going to help you, because if He's in this, He's going to provide, right? Just like He told Moses, here's Moses in the desert, all he is a shepherd, and He says, you're going to go to the most powerful potentate in the world, and you're going to tell him that he has to release all these slaves that he's been relying on, and he has to let them go. You're going to do that for me. And Moses is like, whoa, I can't even talk, you know. I'm not even a good speaker, right? So God says, you know, what do you have in your hand, right? What do we have in our hand? It's the loaves and fishes. It's the things that we have in our hand, and God blesses it, and then He multiplies it, and He enables us to be able to do the things He's called us to do. So in the Bible it says that Jesus was made poor so that we could become rich. And that doesn't mean that we're going to have $1 million house or we're going to fly in a jet. Although if you do those things, you are blessed of God. I'm not jealous of you, and I'm not going to say that you are not following God. But for most of us, that is not where we live. However, we still live in the favor and blessing of God. And the things that He tells us to do, He is going to provide, but not in the typical ways. Like, we have this American mindset. So we have a problem, right? So we've got to buy something to fix it. We've been trained that way. We think that if we buy something, then we can fix it. If our child has a problem in this area, we'll buy a book or a program or a class or something else. And lots of times God doesn't want us to do it that way. He wants us to trust Him and show us a different way. Lots of times there have been amazing things that happen in our lives for our kids, and we didn't have money, and God provided things for them, like karate lessons. You know, we moved into a neighborhood, and we didn't know it when we bought our house, but across the street there was a karate studio, and we worked some bartering at it, and our kids had karate lessons, and we didn't work that out. We only had the resources we had, but God multiplied them. And God can do that for you too, you know. So getting back to the idea of the philosophy. Okay, so I want you to think about all the major curriculum publishers, I'm talking about the ones that are literary Charlotte Mason type based. Okay, I'm not talking about, there are boxed curriculums that follow the school method. I'm going to tell you right now that if you need a boxed curriculum so that you feel as though you've got something in place, I totally understand that. Because when you homeschool, it's like you're swimming in a deep ocean and you are just trying to keep above the water. But I'm going to tell you, there's a better way. Charlotte Mason talked about it. Dr. Raymond and Dorothy Moore talked about it. Ruth Beechick talked about it. Robinson and Robinson Curriculum. I mean, all of the progenitors, all of the formers of the modern homeschool movement talked about having a literary base for education. And so that is the common thread. If you look at Bookshark, if you look at Sunlight, if you look at Heart of Dakota, if you look at My Father's World, if you look at Robinson Curriculum, what is the main thread through all of those? Books and reading. Reading, right? All kinds, fiction, nonfiction. It's just tied to reading everything you can and taking in that information. And the next thing is writing. And also oral expression is really emphasized. Okay, and then you put in the math, and the science, of course, gets taken in a lot with all of that reading you're doing. I mean, automatically you're just reading everything you get your hands on. And then you have the writing. Yeah, that helps you to take all of those ideas, even in science, that you're taking in, and then you're putting it in your own words, and then you're speaking it out. That's oral recitation, right? And then you have the math in there, and if you take math and you don't start formal math until your child has really developed the ability to have an abstract understanding, then you're going to have a lot easier time. Not always completely easy, a lot easier time. And then you condense those math years. Okay, if you think about it, the first 6 years of your math curriculum is pretty much just the operations, just getting them ready so that they can do either business career math or algebra and higher math. So when you think about that, then you can take all of those 6 years and you can condense those in like 1 or 2 if you have to. But you don't have to labor away with little tiny kids trying to get them to do operations their minds cannot handle. Like, that the complicated long division. I mean, it takes a child with a great concentration level to be able to handle that. And lots of kids, when they're 9 and 10 years old, they're still not quite developed enough. But there are some that are. And then you want them to take off, and then you just do what you have to. But what I'm trying to say is there are ways to take all of these ideas, to put them in a nutshell, and put them into a measurable way that you can deal with them. And it doesn't make you it doesn't hamper you. It doesn't put you in like this mold. What it does is it opens up the entire world to you. Now, there are certain things that all children need to know, and we'll talk about that, and I'll give you lists for that. And there's certain books that they probably should read. But beyond that, the sky's the limit. So you can just enjoy. So we'll talk about this more later. You don't have time right now. You got to go wash the dishes. We'll talk more later. Like and subscribe. I'd love to see you soon. Bye-bye.